people are not subscribed, please subscribe. Greetings and welcome back to the channel. If for the first time you're coming across my channel, please remember to like, share and subscribe. Now that said, today I want to talk to you about the UK riot. Yeah, I want to talk to you about, normally I want to talk to you about the riot in the UK. So this video is gonna be called the UK riot. Normally I said I wasn't gonna deal with this subject, but after what happened here in the UK, I'm living here in London. So after what happened here in the UK, I said I must probably not comment, but what I will do is I will put a few videos together and we play them together and watch them together and listen them together, and then maybe in the middle or at the end we come up we talk about these things. So let's watch our first clip and then let's come back and have a small discussion, and let's probably do it like that. So it's spontaneous, we're taking it a step at a time.
Tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British. That's why. They don't even try to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. Well, that sounds British to me. I mean... If there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain.
Explain to the media, is it the race of people that you hate, or is it the values that the person holds that you hate?
I'm brought up in Luton Town. The majority of people I love are not white. Yeah? Okay, yeah. And I've stood on that point since the day I started any of my activism. The first banners we held on our first ever event in 2009 said Black and White Unite. They also said we support the Christians who are the Christians in Nigeria who are victims of Jesus. The war that we're fighting currently has got nothing to do with the colour of your skin. What we want to do is unify Britain, unify the great migrants that have come to this country, embraced it and love it. My mother was one of them, yeah? So most of my friends are them. You line my friends up, so Lucian, Jamaican, Bulgarian, Italian, we're all the sons of immigrants in Luton, yeah? And we've embraced it and love it. But a certain section have come into this country, and rather than love it, they wish to declare war on it. Rather than integrate or assimilate, they wish to dominate and segregate. Yeah? So there's big problems, and the media have continually painted us as...
Okay, I think it's a reflection of what's happening internationally, in that you've got a crisis of capitalism, living standards for, in society going downhill, just a general crisis of the system. Far-right groups, obviously what they do is they latch on to the deep anger that exists. They build in the most impoverished areas of the country, and they basically try and divert that anger away from class struggle against the bosses and against, first the Tories and now Labour. And they rile a lot of very young people up, young men up with very toxic ideas, and they send them out to go and attack migrant communities, That's a real threat we have to take seriously. And if the left doesn't have a convincing alternative that's based around mass struggle, that's based around fighting back in that kind of way, the far right seats in class people, the fact that our NHS is in such a bad state, rather than blaming that on migrants, let's enter into struggle to fight back against the private companies that are making huge profits. I think the real answer is class struggle, uniting as a working class to fight for all of our interests, whether you're a migrant worker, British born, it's about building that working class solidarity.
We need to tackle all these problems. We need to transform society to a socialist one and create a society where wealth is shared more equally amongst the people that create it, which is the majority of the working class people, the capitalists who own everything. They pit us all against each other along the lines of race, being LGBT, men and women, you know what I mean? We're all divided. So we're coming together, but more importantly, a sharing of all of the wealth in the world will kind of do away with that sort of racism, and it's not an easy task, but that's why we're here. People are obviously angry and they're all out together.
People wouldn't be being bombed out their homes and having their land just stolen from them because of oil, because of agriculture, because of water and everything else. They'd be happily sitting in their homes most of them. And they wouldn't be running to anywhere they can possibly get to save their children. That's why, and I don't get it why people don't get that. If you have a problem with immigration, I'd have respect for you if you went out on marches and told the government no more bombing or creating wars in other places. And if we are this powerful, powerful country, and you are genuinely these powerful, powerful politicians, take on these and negotiate with them and create peace. It's not going to...
Get a job. They come to this country and they just get a job just like that.
So when you apply, what do they say to you?
Well, I've got a criminal record. Assault.
Yes. There's quite a few things to go through, so I will not attempt to add all the clips in one video. So I suspect there's going to be a part 2, maybe a part 3 of this episode here, because there's a lot of different things to cover. Just going to cover 1 or 2 things. Number 1, I hear the brother talking about people taking away their jobs. No, if I just gonna make an attempt to just point out one example and see if these guys would do this job. I used to be a market trader, and the wholesale I used to go to New Spitalfield market in the East London. I will try and see if I can find it to put there. And that market opened at 1 a.m. in the morning. 1 a.m. in the morning and closed 9 a.m. in the morning. So who these people who is demonstrating, not just, I wouldn't call it demonstration, because demonstration is a right. These people who is rioting do this type of job at this hour in the morning. No, they will actually the percentage I can see over there is probably less than 1%. Or about 1% of people they would do. The majority of people who is doing those jobs are Asian. 1 and 2 black people may be driving the forklift and other things. So these are one of the things that I am certain that's eliminate that one. There's certain jobs here that you who is rioting will not do. Okay, yeah, make that clear. So people are not taking your jobs. I believe there is a misdirection of anger, in my opinion. Yeah, there's a misdirection of anger. The anger has been misdirected. Over the years, these guys then call politicians and royals and people like those. For the last 400 years, starting in the 16th century. So say 60, I start 15, but I won't count that. 16, 17, 18, 19. That 400 years there, that 400 years. This island here called UK or England or Britain accumulate a lot of wealth from other places over the world. And those people who them call politicians and royals and caretakers find a way to squander the people them inheritance. So now these people you see, in my opinion, all politicians is the same. These people you see rioting now is rioting for the wrong reason. These immigrants and people coming is a small minority. They cannot they cannot eat up any of your food. I would suggest that you direct your anger somewhere else. I also would probably put at the end of this video a little clip about some royal and them earnings. Maybe just one, because I want to keep it short and sweet. Another thing I want to also discuss while I'm at it is wealth sharing. The people are angry, and rightly so. But as I said, the misdirection of the anger is going to the wrong place. This place here is a wealthy place. This island here is a wealthy island of things, the wealth that been accumulated for over 400 years. So what happened is the wealth is not being shared properly. I take for instance, let me give you an example again, because me some man, me like to bring up different example to make things simple. Take for instance your father or your grandfather die and leave 10 of you. They say 10 of you. 10 of you die and leave 10 of you a property. Say a house there. And 2 out of the 10 sell the house or rent the house and take all the money. And you can't even find food. No, that wouldn't sit quiet. That wouldn't sit well with you. Am I wrong or right? So in the comment box, I want you, if you watch this video, please comment. Please also like and share. And most important, subscribe. After saying that, let me just say this. That to the people who are rioting, because this is not a protest, and hatred and 18 on each other and 18 on others, just know this, that we are a pawn in somebody else's game. I don't know if I said that right. In my opinion, and I probably is right on this one, we are a pawn in somebody else's game. Someone is trying to turn us against each other so that we cannot see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is those in position of power are milking the system like a cow and not leaving any of the milk for the calf. So take a step back, look at the game and come up with a new strategy, because this is not the way. This is not the way. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a great day.
And beating people up is that their number one argument is all these foreigners are coming into our country stealing our jobs. Why none of you Why none of you at work? Because it's giving zero work ethic. It's giving, you haven't even got one tooth, let alone 1 degree. Okay? You've got absolutely going on in here. Nothing. It's because you get up at 9 in the morning and sit at Weatherspoons drinking. Also, you're embarrassing our entire nation. Go home and get a job.
He raked in $28.3 million last year, mostly through rent from commercial and residential properties. Now that Charles is king, the Duchy of Cornwall, along with its multi-million-dollar income, goes to his eldest son, William.
He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades.
But that hardly leaves the king destitute. Charles inherited the Duchy of Lancaster from his mother, worth around $800 million. It consists of more than 45,000 acres of commercial, agricultural and residential properties in England and Wales, and provides a private income for the monarch. The late Queen earned $29.7 million from it last year, and there's nothing to suggest her son won't take home a similar amount. He also doesn't have to pay any taxes on duchy revenue, though he will follow in the Queen's footsteps and opt to pay income tax, after deducting money spent on official duties. But the Duchy of Lancaster isn't the monarch's only source of income, or even their most valuable. A large amount of King Charles's income derives from something called the sovereign grant. Here's how that works. In the 1700s, the monarchy handed over revenues from swathes of land to the government, known as the Crown Estate. These days, the Crown Estate makes money on a range of assets, from retail property to golf courses and even offshore wind farms. Those assets are valued at around $20 billion.
I take this opportunity to continue the tradition of surrendering the hereditary revenues, including the Crown Estate, to my government for the benefit of all, in return for the sovereign grant.
Every year, the government pays a percentage of the profits made on those assets back to the monarchy. Last year, it totaled more than $106 million. That was used to fund the Queen's official duties and maintain royal residences, including Buckingham Palace, which is kept in a trust for the reigning monarch. The King does not personally own the properties making up the Crown estate and can't sell them for his own financial gain. Unlike the two properties we know he inherited from his mother, Sandringham House in Norfolk and Balmoral Castle in Scotland, which has been in the royal family since 1852.
The 80,000-acre preserve in the Scottish Highlands has since been the holiday retreat for Britain's ruling families.
The two estates passed from monarch to monarch until Edward VIII's abdication in 1936, when a financial settlement saw them transferred to his brother and Charles's grandfather, George VI. Each was valued between $66 and $79 million by one royal expert, although a potential market price for this kind of asset is difficult to determine. Last year, a cottage on the Sandringham estate was made available on Airbnb as a holiday rental by Norfolk Hideaways. Visitors can book the garden house for just over $1,000 per night. Norfolk Hideaways couldn't say how much of any revenue from the listing went back to the royal family. The Balmoral estate in Scotland also rents out cottages, in addition to selling ticketed tours. The King could also have inherited Queen Elizabeth's personal investment portfolio, the value of which is undisclosed. The palace won't comment on the monarch's wealth or the contents of wills. They say it's a private matter. We do know that Charles paid no inheritance tax on any of the assets passed to him by the Queen. But unlike other UK citizens, royal family members don't have to make their wills public. This means we can't determine what Charles inherited from his mother or father, Prince Philip, so we may never know what he's truly worth.
People are not subscribed. Please subscribe.